We're gonna end up doing Elf, aren't we?
Mom would like that.
Are you an Elf fan?
I enjoy it. I don't go out my way to watch it.
So you're not a big Elf fan.
I'm not saying that out loud so you can hold it against me.
Hello and Merry Christmas. If you're listening to this today, the day that it airs being. Today we are going to be doing our own 24 hours of A Christmas Story. I'm Tristan.
And I'm Marshall. Hold on to your butts. This is going to be a long one.
Yes, it is. But yes, it's not actually going to be 24 hours of A Christmas Story, but I'm glad that they still do that.
Do they still do that?
They do
I haven't
still
had
do that.
actual cable in a while.
It's been a minute for me as well, but I bought the movie, and so I just play it for 24 hours on repeat.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to do it. That way you
Yeah,
get no commercials, so you get more viewings of the movie.
that's right. Because, yeah, it's only 12 viewings of the movie when you watch it on TV.
Yeah.
But yes, today we are going to. What?
Nothing.
Actually, fun fact, because we're
Ooh, I
recording
like
this.
fun facts.
Well, it's not a fun fact. Well, it is
Oh,
a fun
well, then
fact.
you said fun fact.
It's fun
Okay.
because we had to postpone this a day, and I'm so glad we did.
Because you have to watch the movie?
Because I actually got to watch the movie. No, but so yesterday I saw the
Yes.
movie. But no, Rachel's cousin, Tim Donnell, he had his directorial debut at the Evergreen Playhouse in Centralia, Washington, and they directed A Christmas Story, and I got to see that yesterday.
Oh, fantastic.
It was so good,
Yeah.
and it was a musical. I did not remember that it was a musical, and then they started singing, and I'm like, oh yeah, musical.
So the play's a musical, the movie is not?
Yes,
Okay.
but I would have to say that this play that I saw, I don't want to say it's better than the movie, but if you, because it's apples and oranges, but like tier wise and quality wise, they
Yeah.
were equal.
Yeah.
It was like the play equivalent, just as good as the movie, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they had this kid playing Ralphie.
That's good. Instead of an adult playing Ralphie.
Adult might have been funny, but
Everybody just treats him as a kid.
that would be a fun way to go with it. So first, the kid can act, right?
Yeah.
Great actor, and then he can sing. He could like belt and sing, and it's good. And then there was a tap dance number, and he can
And he can
tap
tap
dance.
dance?
Yes.
Where was the tap dance number in?
Oh, it was right after the intermission when
Was it at the mall?
no, it wasn't at the mall. I don't exactly. It was it was before um it was before Ralphie beats up Scott Fargus. Spoilers.
Oh, okay.
But no, the kid reminded me of, you remember in Full House,
Oh,
Michelle's friend Derek?
Michelle's friend? Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
kid who was like around in the 90s, who was just like ridiculously good at everything he did.
yes.
Yeah, he was like
He was
that.
the singer, the dancer.
Singing, dancing, acting, all that.
Yeah, he did the was the Yankee Doodle pageant in
Mhm.
Full House.
Yeah, he was also the kid you didn't like in Little Rascals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little rascals again.
Yeah. Anyway, but yes. So, so yeah, we all, me, Rachel, Rachel's sister's family, and mom, all went down and saw the Christmas Story play, directed, yeah, by Rachel's cousin Tim, and at the Evergreen Playhouse in Centralia. So if you're ever in Centralia and you want to go see a good play, they always put on a great performance. Guarantee. I promise. Whatever you see there, you will like it.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say go see the Christmas Story. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be there that long.
No, it's the first one that sold out before opening night.
That's
I'll show it.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, just phenomenal job. And like I said, Tim did a great job directing it, and then every actor just killed their roles. All the singing was perfect. All the dancing was great. It was just absolutely. I was blown away by it. It was great.
That's great. Did they is the show running through Christmas?
I believe it's running till the end of December.
Okay,
But they have, yeah, you can look them up.
that's good because I got a movie fun fact.
Yeah, you can look them up at evergreenplayhouse.com, and you can get a list of, you can get season tickets there. You can see showtimes. You can volunteer. You can audition if you want to be part of it. But yeah, evergreenplayhouse.com. You can go see what's going on at our little playhouse here in Centralia.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, just a real big fan. So, go ahead with your fun fact. Then,
I'll touch on it a little bit later.
okie dokie. Now
The
that
moment
I've
passed.
now that I've rented, oh, sorry, I
No,
just
that's
didn't want
okay.
to forget to let people know where they can check out the Playhouse.
I get it.
Now, moving on to the specs of this thing. A Christmas Story. It was
A classic.
directed. Shut up. It was directed by Bob Clark. Screenplay by Gene Shepard, Lee Brown, and Bob Clark. It is based on In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash by Gene Shepard, who, fun fact, Gene Shepard is also our narrator.
Okay.
Yes, so the guy who wrote the book this is based on and the story it's all based on is actually narrating it, and it is based on his life.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
I
And
like
I
that.
think, yeah, and it's starring, I spelled that wrong, but Melinda Dillon as mom,
Yes.
Darren McGavin, who was 60 years old at the time of this,
Dang.
as dad.
He was a great dad in this.
He was. Yeah, he really. Every like I remember first watching it and being like, he's kind of a rough around the edges. Not I won't say like a jerk of a dad, but kind of a grumpy not mean, but dad.
Yeah.
And then the more I watch it and the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, he's goofy.
Yeah, it's the age hindsight where you're looking at movies and things differently when you're a kid
Yeah,
versus when you're older, you're seeing things differently. I mean, take the Goofy movie. When you're young, you're like, "Yay, Max, do your thing." And then when you're growing up, you're like, "Oh man, Goofy just wants to spend time with his kid."
this is your third or fourth reference to the Goofy movie.
I like the Goofy movie. Sue me.
How long is it gonna be? Is it gonna be a season 2?
We'll see.
Me, I don't know. And then and then we have Peter Billingsley as Ralphie. And those are our
Yes.
only starring credits according to the Wikipedia.
Ah, Peter Billingsley was in Iron Man.
He was also in Elf.
He was.
And he was also in A Christmas Story Christmas.
The direct well, not a sequel to this movie.
Right. This movie was released on November 18th, 1983. So it is 3 years older than I am.
Yes, and fun fact,
Yes.
it was released before Thanksgiving, and it got pulled from theaters about midway through December,
Okay.
and people started complaining that it wasn't in theaters anymore. It got pulled because they quote unquote thought it had been overplayed. Um, and then people started complaining to the studios and movie theaters, so they re-released it in a bunch of select theaters so people could watch it through the holidays.
That is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, it had a budget of 3.3 million and the box office it raked in 19.2 million. So it did pretty well.
it's a good percentage higher.
Yeah, it spawned 3 sequels.
3?
Yes. My Summer Story, released 1994, A Christmas Story 2 in 2012, and A Christmas Story Christmas in 2022.
I always forget about the summer one.
Yes, and I believe not all of them, because Gene Shepard apparently, unfortunately, passed away before A Christmas Story Christmas.
And my summer story had a completely different cast.
Yeah, it was.
Charles Grodin as the dad and Kieran Culkin as Ralphie.
Hmm. And Mary Steenburgen as mom.
And then A Christmas Story 2 had Daniel Stern as the dad.
Right. And that is not actually so I looked up the Parker family saga and A Christmas Story 2 was not listed as part of it.
A part of the official saga.
Yeah, cuz it's not based on anything. It's an official sequel. It's not based on any of Gene Shepard's writings.
Ah, was A Christmas Story Christmas based on his writings?
Doesn't say.
Or is that just more acceptable because Ralphie's in it again?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Okay, so I think I'm ready now. Apparently I'm a busy guy. Okay, well, should we get into this thing?
Yeah, let's get into the movie.
All right. Well, rubbing my hands together, don't know what to say. Let's get started on A Christmas Story. This movie takes place in 1940.
He didn't
Though
do the movie logo.
it had the real line,
It did.
"Rawr, rawr." Okay, so well, my
Rawr.
so it wasn't picking up my voice. I wasn't getting the green box, and I'm like, well, let me test this out. Rawr. So there we go. Yes, it has the real line. It takes place in 1940 and starts off with the kids looking. It's narrated, so it's got. God, how do we do this?
Without going step by step?
Yes.
That's I don't know, that's why I reverted back to it with the Muppets a little bit.
What did you? Okay, I think we have to start off with what did you think of this movie? What do you think? Do you
What
like it?
I do like this movie. It's I mean, it's been a Christmas staple in our lives for as long as I can remember. It was when it did the 24-hour marathons on TNT?
TBS,
TBS? Yes, TBS.
the
Sorry.
Superstation.
Yes. When it did the
Oh,
24-hour marathon, it was just on, until dad got sick of it and turned it off.
yeah, that tracks.
He's like, "Okay, it's gone 5 times, turn it off."
But Dad, I didn't see that. I don't care.
Um, but I always enjoy this Christmas movie. I always seem to pick up new things in it. I don't know whether it's just I've never paid attention fully to the movie because it's always on. It's just kind of I don't think I've ever sat down and watched it front to back without either getting up or commercials or something else going on, but I always pick up new things as it goes.
Yeah, I picked up a few new things on this watch too. Yeah, I never owned this movie growing up, or I never owned this movie
Yeah.
because I lived with mom and dad for way too long. So
That's a different podcast.
that is a different, but that's the podcast we're not gonna go. We don't have that kind of time. But so I'd always just watch it, and so when I finally got married and became an adult and moved out at in my 30s, Rachel and I we were set up our own family traditions and whatnot, and I was like, well, we have to do a Christmas story on Christmas Day. Like we
Makes
have
sense.
that is a thing that we have to do, and so I ended up buying the movie on Prime Video, so I could
Okay.
just play it over and over again on Christmas Day, which I do.
Yeah.
I work this Christmas Day, so it will be in the evening. We'll do our little Christmas thing. Uh, but that is we have our list of essential Christmas movies, and Christmas Day is a Christmas story first. It's the first one we do, and
Okay.
like when I like before, this is the first Christmas I've actually had to work. So usually, what we do is we do get everyone gets their Christmas presents out or their stocking treats that they got from Santa, and we start with the Christmas story, and we just go through all the Christmas movies all day. We just watch
That's a fun
all Christmas
tradition.
movies. Yeah, really low key, just the four of us, and yeah, it's great. Look forward to it. Nice, quiet Christmas day. But yeah, like you said, this great. Yeah, wonderful.
The movie sets up the premise right away.
It does.
Um,
And that's one thing I really like about this movie is the fact of it's like you have a lot of Christmas movies that are this whole big huge story, and this is literally just a kid hoping to get a Christmas present.
yeah, he just
It's
wants a little BB gun.
a red river. Go. Hooray. Yeah, it's literally just about this family's December, essentially.
Not even that. I mean, it's not too. I mean, it's close to Christmas at that time.
Right, but he's still in school, so it's at least a week before Christmas.
True. I mean, back in the 40s, did you get the whole week off of Christmas?
I don't know, I wasn't there.
We should ask our parents.
Again, weren't there. Dad was born in 54.
I know.
That's 14 years off.
Eh,
But
so, but
it
yes,
just,
they're looking at it through the glass window, right? At the beginning, that's how it.
yeah, it starts off. I mean, and it really paints what 1940s America looked like. You're coming out of the
Yes.
Depression.
So the depression just ended. It takes place in the 40s, hence the Wizard
It's
of Oz
right. It takes place
characters.
1940.
Right, the 1940, hence the Wizard of Oz because it just came out the year before in
Right.
the parade bit.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
No. It's very yeah, and it really paints I don't know, and I was just kind of I wasn't thrown by it, but like you take a look at it and you're watching this movie and it's 1940. You have kids that are looking at toys through a window and they're like, I mean, they're compared to today,
Yeah.
it's like it's a model plane on a string and there's and then there's a train set and then there's a
The
BB gun, like
a
BB
Red
guns.
Ryder BB gun. Oh, also fun fact, the Daisy Rifle Company started making Red Ryder BB guns around the holidays after the popularity of this movie, and
Yeah.
it became their biggest seller.
Okay, so kids still got BB guns in the 80s. Awesome.
Of course,
Yeah.
we got one.
That was Grandpa Steve's.
I know, but still, we got a BB gun.
But I mean, it's very the movie's very 1940.
I got another fun fact.
Go ahead. Why
This
not?
movie, this movie inspired the Wonder Years.
Did it?
Yes, with the narration and the time frame, not exactly the time frame, but this style of movie it inspired the Wonder Years.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. So
So
yeah, it sets it up. They're down there. They're watching everything through the window, and then we get introduced to the house. We get introduced to Ralphie and his house, and they're getting ready for school. He's the big brother. He's got Randy, his little brother. The mom calls him down. He shoves his brother out of the way, grabs his clothes, runs into his parents' room. Did you notice they had separate beds?
yes, because that was a big '40s thing.
Right, but was it, or is that just depicted in TV?
I'm gonna say it was a little bit of both, where it was depicted in TV and then it got imitated.
Okay, maybe. But Ralphie thinks he's super smart and he goes into her magazine that she kept in her nightstand, his mom's magazine, and it's like a toy magazine for
Yeah.
Christmas ideas, and he circles the BB gun.
Yes. Yes. He's being all stealthy about it. He wants that
Yeah.
BB gun. That's
And-
that's the thing.
yeah.
That's what
And
he
that
wants.
yes, and the premise of this whole movie is he is trying to manipulate his parents into buying him this BB gun
Yes.
for Christmas.
Yes, that is his whole that's what he wants, that's his whole goal. He even writes an essay about it in school, and
Yes.
we gotta get quite a few daydreams about him having the BB gun, which we
Yes,
get
and
the first one is just in a few minutes in the movie at this point.
right, it's pretty right off I don't want to say right out the gate because I keep using that stupid phrase, but it's right in the beginning of the movie. We get a daydream, our first day of many daydream sequences, and they do such a good job with these daydream sequences,
Yeah.
making it they're really fun.
Yes, and this one he's protecting the house, which is a homestead
Right, with the BB gun.
from with the BB gun from Black Bart and his gang, who are all dressed in the classic black and white stripes, like the Hamburglar.
Yes, so he's protecting his house from the Hamburglar crew,
Yes,
and yeah, so he's shooting all these people with the gun, which is
they get little
hysterical.
X's on the eyes.
Yeah, they draw a Sharpie. They draw X's over the eyes.
They probably didn't do Sharpie. It was probably makeup. Come here. I'm gonna put these X's on your eyes. Is that a Sharpie? Yeah, yeah. It'll come off. Like, I don't think so. That's not what Sharpie does. We use a makeup pen or something? No, no. This will work better. Looks better on film.
Sharpie, the Sharpie shows up real good. Will it wash off? Eventually.
We got all the pre-shots first, right? We don't. We can't go back.
We can't go back for at least a week. That was your big problem. That I said it was Sharpie. What? Why? Sure. Texas Sharpie. Oh no, not Sharpie.
Well, I don't know. It stood out. My brain said probably not Sharpie, and I said it.
Sure, I agree with you. Probably was just a makeup pen. Who cares?
So, I mean, the actors who aren't getting Sharpie on them.
Who care? Yeah. Fun fact: it was not Sharpie.
Can you confirm that? It might have been. No, it wasn't Sharpie. Fun fact.
No, it was not. Okay. But
After breakfast, they head to school. We get a great scene of his brother.
of Randy getting ready for school. Oh my goodness,
Yes,
that was so good.
he's got the kid has so many clothes on. He can't put his arms down because he's
Right.
so bundled up.
But okay, so but before that, it's his mom stuffing him in all this winter clothes, and he's literally there just like a rag doll with a blank expression on his face, getting thrown around and manhandled into this thing, not helping a single bit.
Yeah, she's got the snow pants and just kind of tugging him up, and he's waving around,
Yeah.
just stuffing him into this thing. But he starts crying because he can't put his arms down. She unwraps him a little bit, like, "What? I can't put my arms down." It's like, "Oh, you can do that at school." As she,
Well,
as she,
why is he wearing a 30-foot scarf?
I don't know. And why is he so bundled up when Ralphie's just wearing a coat and hat? I
He's
know
the
he's the baby, but usually the restrictions come off for the second one.
no kidding. But yeah, yeah, because she wraps the scarf around his neck, and then around his mouth, and then around his nose, and then around his forehead.
Yep, he's just all bundled up like a little mummy. That was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, mom's basically like, put your arms down when you get to school.
Yeah.
Which, with all the effort she had to do to stuff him into that thing, he's gonna get to school, and they're inside a building. He's gonna have to take off some layers, or he's just gonna sit in his desk with his arms sticking straight out because he can't get himself into that.
Ah, movie's got a movie?
There you go. It's a great bit, but it's not practical. So they're walking to school.
Yes.
That's where we meet some of Ralphie's friends, Flick and Schwartz and Billy.
Was there a third one?
No, and someone shoves Randy over,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I can't get up," and I'm like, "Stay down, kid."
Yeah.
Which is it's hysterical. It's great,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's a good bit.
it is. But I glossed over when the not Randy, Ralphie, Flick, and Schwartz are walking. Schwartz is talking to Flick about whether or not your tongue will get stuck to a pole.
Yes.
Fun fact: it will. Don't do it.
It will get stuck to a pole. Fun fact about this scene, though, where Flick sticks his tongue to the pole.
You're gonna take the fun fact. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You do it.
Well, they really did break dare etiquette by skipping the triple dare and going straight for the triple dog dare. That is a big
Yes.
play. That is a big playground no-no.
They went straight for the do this.
Yeah. And you had a fun fact about this scene?
Oh, do you have a fun fact about this scene?
I do, but it's probably different than your fun fact.
So the to do the effect of the to do the effect of Flick's tongue getting stuck to the pole, there was a little hole cut in the pole, and they ran a suction tube through there, so it just held his tongue on there enough to where it would look like it was stuck, but he was able to pull it off pretty easily.
Yes,
Is that your fun fact?
it was.
Okay.
And I knew we had the same fun fact. I just didn't want to take it from you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I like movie magic.
Yeah. And this whole scene was great, where he's stuck to the pole, the bell rings, and he's like, this kid's having a full-on breakdown, panic
Yeah.
attack. And he's like, Ralphie, where are you going? And Ralphie's like, the bell rang. I gotta go. So they get back into class, and the teacher's like, where's Flick? I know somebody knows where he is. Just tell me where he is. And everyone's just keeping quiet. And finally, a little girl like points over to the window, and they look out, and you see Flick, face stuck to the pole, arms waving over like a wacky
He's
waving
just
inflatable
he's
floating arm tube man.
he's flailing. He's going for it.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And everybody, but the two guilty parties, get up and run to the window.
Yeah, they don't need to see it again.
No, they're just sitting there trying to be nonchalant and innocent. And it's like, yeah, I didn't notice that the last time I watched it that they're, and I might have, I didn't recall recalling it.
Yeah.
And then so like the fire department comes and whatnot, and they get Flick off the pole.
Yeah.
And then Flick's back in class, and the teacher gives the whole class a scolding, but she's standing right in front of the two people that are responsible, and looking right at
I
them.
mean, quote unquote responsible. They just told him to do it or dared him to do it, and he didn't have to.
No, but
It's
she,
not like they held his face to the pole and said, "Stick your tongue on it, do it."
the teacher doesn't know that. All she
True.
knows is that little boy was stuck to the flagpole and left all
And everybody
alone.
left him.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he got left. No one said anything.
yeah. So he's just standing at the cold with his tongue frozen to a pole.
Right, right. In reality, Ralphie should have stayed, and the other kid should have gone in and said, "Hey, we have a problem."
Yeah, this he stuck his tongue to the pole. Why did he do that? I don't know.
He's like, "Watch this; it'll be cool."
I wonder what'll happen. You know, lesson learned. Don't go around licking stuff in the winter. Like, well, then they're like, "Where's Flick? Flick who?
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't,
don't know, Flick
I don't know Flick. What do you?"
or Flick.
Poor Flick. But the teacher obviously knows because she's standing there. She's like, "Don't you feel bad? Don't you feel guilty?" And she's right in front of Schwartz and Ralphie, just looking them dead in the eye, and they're just
I was like, "No."
okay, looking around. Oh, I wonder who she could be talking to.
He's the one that stuck his tongue to the pole.
So, and and then the commentary. Kids always know it's better not to get caught,
Yes.
which is true. But did you notice that at 9 years old they're writing in cursive?
There was better standards back then.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was almost 40 years though in the future that this was filmed.
Yeah,
And so the attention to detail that like kids were writing in cursive, they were doing their arithmetic, they were writing themes. They had to pay attention to the margins.
yeah.
But I still don't know what she means watch the margins.
I don't know. Like the margins on the edge of the page where you're writing to, so you don't go too far over.
I guess that's what it is cuz back then there were only typewriters so you had to pay attention to your margins.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
Oh?
I remember we forgot something at breakfast
What?
where Ralphie, where his mom asks what he wants for Christmas.
Tinker Toys.
He says the Red Ryder BB gun first, and she's like, "No,
Yeah,
you'll shoot your eye out," which is a big line in this movie.
we did forget that.
And then he's like, "No, no, I'm just kidding. I want Tinker Toys." She's like, "Yeah, sure, you'll shoot your eye out."
Even though Flick's getting one.
Yeah.
Not a good friend that Ralphie. But yeah, so, and
Yeah,
apparently
no, no.
no, he's not a good friend.
No, no, he dimes out Flick again later for not
That
doing
was
anything. Oh, it's
that was
Schwartz, that's right.
Schwartz. So he dives out Flick and Schwartz,
Oh, poor Schwartz.
and then pulverizes a kid. Speaking of just leaving kids places,
Yeah,
beats the
but
ever-loving heck out of the bully.
true. Um,
But I guess we'll get to that. Yeah,
yeah. So at this point school ends and
yeah, and then go home, and then we get
he
introduced to the bullies.
yeah, is this where he turns in his essay too? Be graded?
I don't know. I didn't write a lot of things down because we're not going frame by frame in the movie. This is not a good.
We're not
We,
going frame by frame, but we might have a little bit more of a structure next time.
no kidding.
You have this 100-yard stare in your eye.
It's, I'm grasping at straws, man. But so we meet the bullies, and they apparently growl and yell at the kids to scare them. They roar like they're animals.
Right. Scut Fargus and Toady.
Toad. I had his name too. I just had his name.
Toady.
His toady was shoot. But yeah, we get introduced to them, and Grover Dill.
That's Toadie's name or the
Yeah,
actor's name?
that's the name of the kid, the
They
character
didn't
name.
say it in the movie.
Yes, they did.
When?
His little toady, Grover Dill. He had not him, but Scott Fargus had yellow eyes.
Yeah.
And that laugh, how obnoxious is that laugh? Ha 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 ha. Ha. Shut up, kid. He
Yeah.
looked at one point he looks like a broken toy. He's laughing, ha 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 ha, just his like head bobbling back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, what were the directions on that? Keep going, kid. You're doing great.
Act
Stop it.
deranged.
Yeah, and they just show up and beat up these kids.
Yeah. Randy gets shoved to the ground at this point, right? And
Yeah, they
just
showed.
lays there.
Yeah, it was his only defense.
Yeah.
Which I mean, the narration was on point. It was great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy who wrote it's telling his story basically.
Yeah,
Um, but they get home.
they do get home. They live.
They live. Yeah. They make it home. And is this the Ovaltine ring?
No.
Dakota ring?
How many notes
Or
did you
this is
take?
very, very none.
None. You have no notes.
No,
You didn't write any notes down.
I have everything up here. I don't do notes when you lead.
Ever?
No.
Even before?
I've never taken notes on your lead movie.
Really?
Yes. I have jotted a couple notes down here and there if I really want to make sure I mention something, but I'm usually pretty good at remembering those things I want to bring up,
Even in season one.
even in season one.
No notes on my episodes.
No, no notes on your notes.
Gotta
My
be.
book starts with tremors.
Hold on here. Just hold on here.
I
Hold on
have broke
here.
my brother's brain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages of notes for down Periscope. I take full notes and a walkthrough of the movie on your episodes.
Did you know I didn't do notes? No,
No.
it was good.
So we're at dinner.
But so they get home, and this is when we meet his dad finally,
Yeah.
because his dad comes home from work. We meet the Bumpus's dogs.
Yeah, the hillbilly neighbors, the Bumpuses.
Yeah. Did I break your brain?
Dude, how were you doing that without taking notes?
Like I said, I'd write down really important things if I needed to, but
We're gonna have a talk after this episode.
I think we're having a talk now.
It sounds. I know. I was thinking of pinning it till after the episode, so we don't record it.
Okay.
This is good. Welcome to the specialist of special features. We'll talk about the movie a little bit,
Yay!
but so anywho, so we meet the dad. The dad swears a lot, but they don't have him swear much in the movie because it's PG and it wants to
Right,
be a
right.
family movie.
Fun fact, all of his swearing that he did was just ad-libbed weird noises to keep it that PG rating.
Grumbling, yeah.
Yeah, it's a precursor to Joe Pesci
In Home Alone,
in Home Alone
yeah, they use that
with
same
his
kind of
with his swearing.
rack 'em, frack 'em, robots, and
Yeah,
yeah,
rock'em sock'em robots.
rock. Sure, but we meet the
uh,
dad,
yes.
and Randy is not a good little eater.
No, he's not.
Instead, he is building a sculpture out of mashed potatoes, meatloaf, and a fork.
Yes.
And Dad is sick of it at this point, and so he's like, "I'm gonna go get my screwdriver, and I'm gonna pry his little mouth open, and I'm just gonna shove the food in there."
And the mom's got a better way to do it.
She does. Instead, she asks him how the little piggies go, and he
Yeah.
makes the noises. And
And
then she
then
says, "Show me how the piggies eat." You don't take notes at all.
like
I
I said, I take some notes.
I sat here and I took I took decent notes, not great notes, but I took the notes that I took on the premise that I was like, oh, well, Marshall will be taking his own notes. So between the two of us, our notes should get us through the movie pretty pretty well. It should flow pretty good because Marshall's going to be taking his own notes, and the stuff he's going to want to talk about is probably going to be different than the stuff I'm going to want to talk about, and that'll get us through the whole movie in a pretty good manner, where we're not going scene by scene, but it's still a pretty linear way. And then I come to find out, Marshall's like, "Oh no, at my movie, not leading it. Whoops." To all you listening, I apologize for my unprofessional demeanor during this recording, and I apologize that it's not flowing as well as it should be. Well, we're going to get through the rest of this episode, and we're going to talk about it, and we're still going to have fun, and we hope you enjoy it. So Randy sticks his face in his potatoes and starts mowing down on it. He's grunting and snorting, and Father and Ralphie are looking pretty sick right now.
Yeah.
And Randy and Mom are just having a grand old time here. Because, well, it looks kind of fun. I think Marshall's still trying to recover.
Oh, but then we get the furnace.
Yes, then the furnace dings. I don't know if it dings. Rather than-
It makes a noise.
It
We
makes
find that we find out the dad has a beside the Bumpus's dogs, another rival in the house.
his furnace. He was the most feared furnace fighter in Indiana.
Yep.
And
Because they didn't
just
build them
throwing
like
it
they
out.
used to.
Nope. And just throwing it out there now, he could weave a tapestry of profanities that's still hanging over Lake Michigan.
Yes.
Some artists worked with oils or watercolors or clay, and their dad worked with obscenities.
He did. He did. And if we'll probably get to that.
I don't know. Is it in your notes? Oh wait. I'm just enjoying letting you laugh.
Yeah. It fills
So
the
the dad
silence.
wins a major award. That's the next thing I have.
Yeah.
He gets a telegram. He comes in. He does a little jig. It's gonna be there tonight. The box shows up. What is it? It's fragile.
Yes, it's French.
And Italian. Come on now. Did you even watch the movie?
I did watch the movie.
Yeah. And so, but you see that the F is cut off of the fragile.
Yes.
And so I actually rewound it a couple times because I couldn't quite hear if he said fragile or he said ragile because the F was cut off. And he says fragile. He's like, oh, must be Italian. And his wife says, I think it says fragile, dear. And he goes, of course it does.
Yes.
And so he opens up this giant box and pulls out this monstrosity of a leg lamp.
Yeah, this box is, I don't know, the size of a couch and a half. It's huge.
Probably about 4 feet long and 2 feet wide.
Yeah, but I mean, he's actually climbing in it to find this thing.
Yeah. And it's all packed with hay and straw, and
Yep.
he's throwing it everywhere, and then he pulls out this leg lamp.
Yes, a leg lamp, a lady leg lamp,
Yes.
not like a peg leg lamp.
No, it is a shapely woman's leg lamp
And he loves it.
because he won it.
Yes, it is the principle of the thing. He won this. This is his reward.
Yes. No, it doesn't matter how hideous and awful and inappropriate it is. He won this, and dadgummit, he is going to display it in his front window of his house. And oh my goodness, that electrical outlet.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense though. At the time, that was a thing in like the 40s because electricity was still relatively new. So houses were really only getting one outlet per room.
Yeah, they weren't getting the outlets, and the appliances were starting to go up then, and they needed, and then grounding wasn't a thing.
No, you're talking two-prong outlets. And there
Yep.
no proper grounding, and so it was a lot more cost effective to make little I mean we have power strips now that have
Right.
built-in surge protectors and whatnot, but like back then you would just piggyback extra outlets on
Yeah.
extra
Looks like
plugs.
the the outlet in Christmas Vacation in the garage. All the lights are plugged into. It's got this massive thing.
Yeah. You just keep plugging in extenders
Yeah. Extender
and
with a little branch off, and you got this little weird maze that you're building with with all your things you plug in.
yeah, giant fire hazard.
And that's why they had fuses to replace instead of breaker switches.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't just trip a breaker, your fuse would explode.
Yeah.
Because you got a fifth. Actually, they were only 10 amp outlets then. They weren't 15s,
Yeah.
and so yeah, you get enough stuff plugged into it that the breaker wouldn't just pop, the fuse would explode, and then you just replace the fuse. And I
Yep.
mean, that was
His
also
dad.
back in the day where people would shove. If you didn't have a fuse, you'd shove a penny in there.
Right. Right. I'm sure Grandpa did that tons of times.
Oh yeah. No, you can just stick a penny in there. It's fine. Is it fine though?
Although he always seemed pretty prepared. He may have just had fuses all the time.
Probably did. But yeah, shove a penny in there. Anyway, so he gets it all fixed up. He replaces the fuse because it explodes, and
Yep.
he said Ralphie said his dad used to buy him by the gross.
Yep. He could change him out.
Yeah, with his eyes closed in the dark
Yeah, because he had to.
because they pop so often. But I mean that, yeah, I like that the attention to detail of the time.
Yeah. No, it's
It would be
it's a good period piece movie.
yeah, it would have been very easy for them to gloss over that detail. Instead, they made it a joke in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he gets his leg lamp all
So
lit up. What? I'm sorry. Do you
if
have a
it,
note here?
uh, no, I just if that movie would if that movie were to come out this year, it would have taken place in 1980.
Fun fact.
Painful fact.
Yeah, yeah. That's the equivalent of actually 1981.
Oh yeah, 43 years. I was thinking 44 years, but yeah,
Yeah, 43 years ago.
1981,
For those of you keeping score.
the year before I was born.
Yeah, that actually would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Another Christmas story, but like updated one. Find some kid who's got a good story
Just
of
wants an
what it was.
Atari.
You'll shoot your eye out. I don't know.
It'll rot
So,
your brain.
yeah. So, anywho, he gets his leg lamp lit up. He's looking at. He wants to see it from the street.
Right. He brings the family out to look at it in the window.
The family does not come out and look at it. The
He wants to
family's
bring the family out. He's like, "Come on."
he's having mom adjust it in the window, and then the neighbors start coming out and like, oh, what's that? Looks like a lamp. It's a major award. Yeah, because there's a crowd going. It's a major award. I won it with mind powers. He's
Does he
that's a
say what he won it for?
no
Okay.
mind powers. He won it with mind powers.
Mind powers.
And then his neighbors eventually like, yeah, it's a major award. He won it. His neighbor doesn't seem too bright.
It's
Maybe
the
that's
Bumpuses.
yeah. Maybe it is the Buppuses. Anyway, so they get that all situated, and then they're gonna go buy a tree.
Yes.
And mom, says, "Oh, hold on a minute," and she goes in and she turns off the leg lamp. And her excuse is, "We don't want to waste electricity." And then it
Yes.
shows an exterior shot of the house, and every single other light in the house is on, which is fantastic. Which I didn't catch before.
No. This was the first time I saw that bit as well.
Yeah, which is great. And that's,
Like, we don't
yeah,
want to
that's
waste electricity. It's like, huh.
every single other light is on. Yeah, it's great. But it's specifically she hates the lamp
Yes,
and
she she hates it. She is
she hates,
affronted by it.
and she's not going to directly tell him that he can't have the lamp because it's a major award and he won it. But
She's gonna go to her own war with her lamp.
yes, and Ralph even mentions this was the beginning of the war with that lamp. So they go get a tree, and the dad haggles with the guy, and we never get a price on like a direct price on how much the tree was originally.
Yeah.
But the old man loves to wheel and deal, and he gets the guy down to, I'll take $2 off, which in 1940, I'm assuming $2 off is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And the old man's still humming and hawing over it. And the guy's like, I'll take $2 off. I'll throw in some rope and tie it to your car for you. And the old man decides that's a good enough deal, so they do that. And then we're driving home,
And we get a flat
and
tire.
we get a flat tire because on those bald tires, the tires were bald.
They were.
And Dad says, "Time me," because he wants to be in the Indianapolis 500, or always saw himself in the pit there. Mom suggests that Ralphie goes out and help. That's a bad idea,
It is a bad idea.
but it's a nice idea.
Yes, it's a
So
bad idea in hindsight.
yes, but it is
'Cause it
nice to have to teach your kid how to do stuff.
yeah, it's a good training opportunity at this moment,
Yeah,
and it
so
doesn't go
he
well.
no, the dad hands him a hubcap, says to hold this. Ralphie's holding it like I don't know what he's holding it like, and the dad's like, not like that. I want to put the nuts in it. Oh, hold it like a tray. I don't
Yeah.
know. So the dad's throwing the nuts in there, the bolts in there, or what have you, and then he gets excited and he knocks it out, and Ralphie says, "Oh, fudge."
Except he doesn't say fudge.
He says, "The queen mother of all dirty words."
Joe Pesci's favorite word.
Joe Pesci, yeah, sure. Joe Pesci's favorite word.
The F dash 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 word.
Yes, we all know what the word is. So
We do.
Ralphie gets set back into the car.
Yeah. He does not look at he's just oh.
He's like, "Oh no!" He's like, "Oh fun!"
Oh, oh fudge. Oh fudge. I wasn't saying fudge. I was panicking.
That would have been a funny bit. But yeah, the dad's just like, "What did you say?" "That's what I thought you said." Doesn't even really give him a chance to answer.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
that's what I heard. Get in there.
Get in there. And yeah, so they're driving. They're get back. Dad gets back in the car. Tells mom what Ralphie said. She's really disappointed. Then we do a snap cut, I guess you'd call it,
Jump
to
cut.
jump cut. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
To to Ralphie.
Mom's disappointed. She screams.
Yeah, she does.
Mom's disappointed. That's not disappointed. She's horrified.
She is. And then we jump cut to him. He's not eating the bar of soap, but he's got a bar of soap lodged in his mouth. Pretty good.
He does.
And yeah,
She
which
wants to know where she heard the word.
right, but first we get adult Ralphie narrating over that he became quite the connoisseur of soap over the years. He lists some of his favorites, and I like the segue into the brand that she's using.
Yeah.
So he's like, and then this brand. Well, my thoughts on this one were, and then Kid Ralphie goes, ugh. So a
It's a
nice little
good little
lead into
back and forth. Yeah.
yeah. And then she's like, "Where did you hear it?" And he's like, "Well, I've heard that from my old man at least 10 times a day." But I panicked and said, "Schwartz." And
He
we get
panicked and said one of his friends, not the
yes,
bully, not his dad,
yeah,
who blatantly said it at the dinner table her table
yeah,
when he was fighting with the furnace.
sure, yeah,
But
no, but he panics and throws his other friend under the bus. He gets one's tongue, he bails on one, leaving him stuck to a flagpole, and then the other one he throws under the bus for something he didn't do.
yeah.
And so Mrs. Ralphie, uh,
Mrs. Ralphie,
Mrs. Ralphie's mom,
Mrs. Parker.
Mrs. Parker, decides to give Schwartz's mom a call. And we get a great dialogue here where she's like, "Do you know what Ralphie just said?" And tells him, and you hear that over the phone, the shrieking over the phone.
What?
And she's like, "Do you know where he heard it?" And he goes, "Well, probably from his father." Which you can make that out over the phone.
Yeah, yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah. It's just like, no, he heard it from your son. And then we hear the disappointment in the other mother's face.
Yes, yes.
And we get a horrifying and hysterical scene that shouldn't be as funny as it is, given the reality of what it is. But you hear her scream, and you hear the footsteps walking, and then you hear this kid getting mercilessly beaten by his mother, and he's screaming, "Oh, mom, what did I do? What did I do?"
Oh,
And
poor kid.
I know that's what in my notes, just poor Schwartz. The, the
Poor
kid the kid did nothing wrong, but like Rachel and I still we both found ourselves just busting up laughing at this poor kid getting beaten over the phone, and it works. And I didn't want to just be like, yeah, pro child abuse, but so I wanted to think about why this works and why it's funny and not horrifying. And I think number one, you cannot see the kid getting beaten.
Okay.
Number two, oh come on, if you were actually watching it, it would be horrifying.
Yeah, yes, it would be.
It's so over the top and ridiculous. That's what makes it funny.
Okay. I felt like you had more.
I thought I had more and I didn't. I might cut that whole thing out because I just sound really bad.
Let me justify why this is funny.
And it turns out I didn't. It's just funny for some reason. Is it because we don't like Schwartz very much?
Clearly, Ralphie doesn't like Schwartz very much.
Clearly, nobody likes Schwartz very much.
Oh, is Schwartz the one that gets left with Scut Fargus when the bell rings, or is that Flick?
That's Flick.
Okay.
And then we cut to from there. Now we get to where the themes are coming back, but it's everyone's giving a gift to the teacher.
Yes.
And did you notice the apple on her desk with a bite taken out of it?
I did.
That was the first time I had noticed that.
Is you think that she took the bite out of it, or somebody took a bite out of it and then gave it to her?
Somebody took a bite out of it and gave it to her. Because if you
Okay.
notice, the bite is turned completely away from her, and it's all brown. Yeah, so it's like, here you go, teacher. And
Yeah,
then,
I got you
let-
something.
and let's talk about Ralphie for a minute.
Okay.
Because Ralphie comes in clutch with a very fine-looking fruit basket.
Yes.
And I have questions.
Okay.
Where did Ralphie find a impeccable fruit basket in 1940 in the middle of December?
At the dry goods store?
No. They did not have the technology and resources back then to have tropical fruit out of season, right? It's pineapples, papayas, bananas, apples, like everything is looks beautiful. And I'm going, it's 1940, it's the middle of December, you're in Indiana. Where are you
Yeah.
getting that fruit basket?
That you make a valid point.
I have a feeling you're about to discredit my valid point.
No, I don't have any follow-up.
Oh, good.
The fruit basket didn't strike me as odd. It should have, because of
It
the
will now.
1940, and it will now, but could be an oversight with everything else going on.
Maybe it's
Oh.
just a straight up lie. I brought her a fruit basket. No, you didn't.
Brought her a fruit basket. Yeah, yeah.
You know, because it
Because
is
he's
him
telling the
telling the story.
story.
Right. And then we get the themes back, and Ralphie only gets a C plus, and she
Yes,
writes at the bottom,
this is his fruit basket was a suck up technique, but
did not work because the
no.
themes come back, and he gets a C plus.
Yes, with a note saying you'll shoot your eye out.
Yes.
To which he thinks his mom got to the teacher.
He doesn't get it yet. I'm sorry. Because first, because he sucks up when he turns in his theme. Then he has the daydream about her grading it, and then he goes home, gets his little orphan Annie decoder.
Okay, so yeah, this is the fruit basket daydream about her writing A because it's so amazing,
Yes, yes, yes.
and then he goes home and does his little orphan Annie decoder ring
In the bathroom when he's got a
in the
bedroom,
bathroom. Right. I don't know why
and then Ralphie's
they could lock
gotta
because
go.
Ralphie shares the bedroom.
Right.
Ralphie and Frankie. Frankie.
What movie did you watch?
Ralphie and Randy share a bedroom.
Yes.
So he went to the bathroom to be by himself. Locked the door.
Okay.
So Randy wouldn't just come barging in because
Which
he got his code from the Little Orphan Annie radio show.
yes, and you're not supposed to tell anybody what Annie's secret message is.
Correct. Now this is disappointment.
No kidding. Says he decodes this thing, and it turns out It says, "Be sure to drink your Ovaltine."
Yes.
It's
His
a
secret
crummy
message
commercial,
is a commercial.
and we get
Or
Ralphie
as the
saying,
kids would say now, ad.
"Yeah," which ad might be more appropriate,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, probably.
probably. But yeah, so then Ralphie says a naughty word, which it it's his only one of the movie, his only actual one,
Yeah.
and it's just the first time it was funny
Yeah.
because you're just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd still prefer it not be there. But anyway, then the leg lamp breaks. We cut to the leg. I don't know if we cut there, but that's next thing in my notes. The leg lamp breaks.
Yes. Leg lamp breaks by accident. I'm using air quotes.
Yeah, and we get a great scene of mom and dad because dad is just what happened. And you can see him just like shaking and he's like, get the glue. And she's like, we're out. And he's like, you used all the glue on purpose. You can see him just like seething with rage, but like
Well,
he's holding it together.
yeah. I mean, at the same time, it's not like the glue's gonna heal the lamp. He can glue tomorrow. The lamp's not gonna die between then and there.
Right.
It's like, fine, I'll get glue tomorrow.
No, he gets up and puts his coat on and throws his hat on, and all he can muster is not a finger. Which what?
Don't lift a finger.
I don't know.
Don't touch
I
that lamp. Not even
don't
with
move
a
a finger.
finger.
So and then it goes to him like he's clearly spent some time gluing it back together, and like he gets it he gets it rebuilt. It doesn't look good, but he gets it rebuilt, and he gets the lamp shade,
Yeah.
and Rachel's like, "It's too soon for that. You gotta let that glue dry."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's gotta let the glue dry a little bit.
Which my wife, she never did maintenance,
Yeah.
but she's like, "You gotta let that glue dry for 20 like at least 24 hours." And I look over and I go, "What? You're right, but where did that come from?"
She's like, I know how to glue things.
She
I
does.
craft.
She does. That's yeah. But so in the play
Yeah.
at this there's a musical number at this scene, and the the girls are all wearing skirts that look like the lampshade.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. It was either at the break of it or I think it was at the break of it, not at the revealing of it. Yeah, it's the break of it. But yeah, it was cute.
That's fun.
It was. Yeah. I hope they do
But
it. I don't know if they'll do it next year. I hope they do because it was great.
but he doesn't wait the 24 hours. He's impatient and the lamp crumbles.
Yes. And then he gives up.
Yes. He
And then he
is
buries it and plays taps.
he is disappointed and dejected.
Yes. And so we cut to school, and this is where Flick gets his arm twisted because the bell rings and the boys are like, "Get over here!" And it's like the bell rang, and so they run off again. And Flick's like, "Yeah, okay." Good old Flick.
He turns around, gets his arm ready, and
Yeah,
he knows what's coming.
yep. But if, like they also give him a black eye. Did you notice
That
that
was
in the
for
next?
that was for his friends.
Maybe. But so yeah, so Ralphie gets his theme back. He only gets a C plus. She writes, "You'll shoot your eye out at the bottom of it." We get that line once again,
Yep.
and then
And
we get
we
another
get the
daydream
little
of them
yeah,
of the teacher dressed as a witch and mom dressed as a clown.
like a harlequin.
Yeah, and they're going, "You'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out."
Yeah, he thinks his mom got to his teacher and they're conspiring against him, so now they're dressed as villains,
Yeah,
which is great. But this is the last day of school before break.
right. And we cut to Ralphie walking home, and he's defeated.
Yeah,
And then he
his essay didn't
catches
work because if he got an A on his essay, he could have said, "Look, I did this,"
right.
and
That was
my
his
teacher thinks this is a good idea.
right. But no, his teacher even you'll shoot your eye out. Agreed with mom. So he's walking home and he catches a snowball to the face, right to the
Yes.
eye.
Yeah, takes his glasses off and everything.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't take his glasses off.
Oh, no,
He
he
has to
takes
take
he takes his glasses off because the snow goes behind the glasses.
right. And Scott Fargus is there to give him a lecture on you. If I tell you you're going to get beaten up, then you need to come over and get beaten up.
Right. That's why I gave your
Bully
friend a
logic.
black eye.
Yeah, I guess. And Ralphie's just not having it. Ralphie is at the end of his rope
Yeah.
and starts to rage cry,
Yes.
which yeah, he ain't just crying like sad. No, you can see rage cry in there. That's different. That's a whole scary can of worms you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the point of
Of what happens next.
yeah.
Because Ralphie snaps and tackles Scott Fargus and just starts pummeling this kid and swearing at him.
Yes.
And then Grover's like, the little toady gets down. He's like, "Hey kid, okay, hey kid, stop." And Ralphie,
Yeah, yeah, like
like, "Oh yeah, okay, sure." And then Ralphie just decks him, knocks him over, and he gets up and he's, "I'm telling my dad," and
yeah.
runs off.
As soon as
And
somebody
then
stands up to the bullies, they kind of break down.
yeah, and then Randy picks up. Okay, so here's the chain of events that happens from here. Ralphie
Okay.
is just pummeling this kid. Randy picks up Ralphie's glasses, runs all the way home, explains to mom what is going on. He and mom run all the way back. At
Yeah.
this point, Ralphie is grabbing him by the neck and shaking him and slamming his head against the ground. And this kid is already bleeding, and he's just and crying and shrieking, and Ralphie's just going. Mom sees him, can't pull Ralphie off of him for a bit.
Yeah.
All the other kids are like horrified at what's happening. She finally ends up pulling Ralphie off of this poor boy, I guess. I don't know. And then Ralphie finally comes back to reality and his rage subsides. She
Yeah.
says, "Okay, we're going home." And the only adult present for this does not check on the kid that just got beaten whatsoever. She just grabs her kids, goes home, and leaves him laying on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Scott just kind of gets left there.
Yeah. And yeah, so he's just on the ground, beaten in front of the school.
Yes. And might be a new pecking order when they get back from break.
There might be, because yeah, and I'm sorry, because you're Flick. You see this, right? Are you going over there?
To help Scott?
No, to get your licks in.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, think about it. This dude just twisted your arm and gave you a black eye, and you just watch your buddy beat the ever-loving stuffing out of him.
It's like I can do that too.
I mean, as soon as Ralphie gets pulled off and Mom's out of sight, I'm running over there, and
Hey, the adult's gone.
it's my turn. Make the other side of his nose bleed. I don't know, but yeah, Flick definitely lets himself know, lets it be known that he saw exactly what happened,
Yeah.
and so we have a moment where
Scott's trying to save face.
no, he's not. He doesn't even
I know,
try.
he just
He just sits up and he's just like, well.
not picking with that
And
kid
that
again.
and Scott Fargus is the great Zach Ward, who we've had on this podcast before. Well, not personally, but he's been in some things that
Wild
we've mentioned
America.
him. Yeah, Wild America. He was a jerk in that too.
He was. Want his
But mom
dollar back.
gets yeah, mom gets Ralphie home. She cleans him up. She makes him lay down. Randy's hiding under the sink because Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie, which is a
Yeah,
great
he
line.
thinks his dad's gonna kill Ralphie. Which,
Fair.
yeah.
Then Dad gets home. It's dinner time. Dad's like, "Hey, Ralphie, where's your glasses? You didn't lose them again." And Mom's like, "You, Ralphie, you left these on the radio." So she saves them.
Yep.
And then she tells Dad that he got in a fight. And I don't know, given the times and the dad,
Yeah.
I expected him to not be upset about the fight. Because boys fight. That's what you do in the
Yeah.
1940s. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, got in a fight? What happened? Picked
Have
on
the
by
other
a
kid come
bully.
out.
Yeah. Did you win? I
Yeah.
expected that more of a. You got in a fight. Looks like you did pretty good.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, so there's that, and Mom comes to the rescue.
yeah, she doesn't dime him out.
Yep, and you get a touching moment where he says that things between him and his mom were different after that. Once he realized that he was not going to die, and then we cut to the parade.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Ralphie's not
Sorry.
having it with the parade. Ralphie realized that they're going to the parade, and he's like, "This is my last ditch effort. Is I got to get Santa Claus on my side."
Yes. That's his big plan. This is Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
No, it's the day before Christmas Eve. Is it Christmas Eve?
I think it's Christmas Eve.
They went to school on Christmas Eve.
Day before Christmas Eve.
I think it might be Christmas Eve.
I don't know. They're gonna go see Santa. That's the point. This is his last chance to get somebody to get him the uh, Red Ryder BB gun,
Yes. Yes,
and
yes. This
he's
is
he's having none of the parade.
no, he doesn't want to be there. He's just like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
And yeah, so you
And
get like
Randy's like, look, it's Santa.
yeah, Randy's enjoying the parade. Mom and Dad are enjoying the parade. Ralphie's like, I got business to take care of.
Right. Oh, and as I mentioned earlier, you see the Wizard of Oz characters in this parade,
You do, and
because the movie had come out just the year before,
it did
and it was insanely popular.
crazy popular. Yes, and you also see a Mickey Mouse that looks a little too modern for the times.
The Mickey Mouse suits they had back then were horrifying. You do not want that.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying like it's not. That's a more modern Mickey Mouse.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it too. I just think I've seen it from when the park opened. And whoa boy, they were
It's got
scary.
the big cuts on it where the foam separates.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Google it.
Yeah.
It's scary. So finally, Santa goes by. The parade's over. Ralphie's like, "Can we go now?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can go." And then they just leave Brandy and Ralphie alone in the department store to go get in line and see Santa.
Yeah, they got shopping to do.
Right. So, which is you're leaving a 9-year-old in charge of a what is he, 6?
Yeah, it's 1940. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I know. It's just like, good for them. And then you get just a weird when they're waiting in line. It's just weird.
Yeah, well, they go to the line where they think the end of the line is. It's the front of the line. It's like, no, no, you got to go back that way, kid.
You get
You're
you
you're
get
not.
you get ridiculously angry adult.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey
hey, what
kid,
are you
what do you think
doing?
you're doing? Like he's like, hey kids, line's back there. You know, to be,
Yeah.
what do you think you're doing? Oh,
To be
anyway,
fair, it matches with ridiculously angry elf.
and ridiculously angry Santa and ridiculously,
Yeah,
yeah,
this is not a good experience.
no. But then he's in line and he's behind this weird kid, serial killer in the making. I don't know. I
Maybe.
I don't. It's odd. It is very strange. And then the Wicked Witch of the West comes up to him and he's like, "Don't bother me. I'm busy."
Right. She's like, oh my.
Whatever, kid.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like, jeez.
yeah. Oh
Okay, I'll
man.
move on to the next kid.
Whatever. Fine. Then finally we get up to see Santa. Weird kid freaks out. Randy freaks out.
Yeah, they just get shoved down the
The
North Pole
giant
slide.
slide. Yeah, which Rachel's like, what kid doesn't want to go down a slide? And I go, well, first of all, you're traumatized by angry Santa. Then you have overly aggressive elf pick you up and throw you down a slide.
Right, that elf is just like, "What do you want?
Like
Hurry
that's
up, kid. There's a
no
line."
part of that. No part of that looks like if you had went up there and like, yay, Santa, and you know, you're all happy to see Santa. You have a good experience. You hop off the Santa's lap yourself, and then you go to the slide and slide down. That would probably be fun. But being manhandled by a grumpy elf who's probably drinking and thrown down a slide, that seems scary. It's a big slide.
Yeah, it's not a good experience. It's yeah, kid, what do you want?
Yeah. So Ralphie finally gets his turn.
Ho, ho, ho.
Thanks. So Ralphie gets his turn. He panics. We get a call back to football.
Yeah, Santa suggested it, right? Like a football? He's like,
And
"Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
"Yeah,
football."
football. What's a football?" But in his theme, he said, "I don't think a football is a very good present."
Right.
And so he gets picked up and thrown down the slide, and well, not thrown down it, but he gets set and gently shoved, and he finally comes to his senses and kicks his feet out and goes, "No!" and screams and turns around and climbs back up, and you see Santa looking down at him like, "Well, this is new." But let's hear this kid out. He's clearly
Yeah.
got something on his mind.
Yeah, most kids scream and cry on their way down. This one stopped and started crawling back. It's like,
And
"Wait."
then, yeah, and Santa's all ears at this point. And Ralphie's like, "I want a Red Ryder BB gun." I don't know all the rest of it. And Santa like, just stops for a minute and goes, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Ho, ho, ho." And then steps on his face.
Yeah, it puts his foot on his face and just kind of pushes him down. Ho, ho, ho.
You can't do that. Well,
It's the
1940s you could.
it's 1940s. You can.
Yeah, you can step on kids' faces if you want to. And so, yeah,
So Ralphie
Ralphie
and
gets
Randy are at the bottom, just lying there for a minute.
just defeated. And then they go home.
Yep. His dad asked him if he asked what he if
He asked Santa for what he
um
wanted.
asked Santa for what he wanted, if he's been a good boy,
Yeah.
or if he'd been good this year, and he's like, "Well, Santa knows. He always knows."
It sounds like the dad's hitting the sauce too.
Could be.
It's 1940.
They
So
don't have
anyway,
someone
then
else.
the next thing I have is them opening presents the next morning.
Yeah. So that was Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. They're
Uh-huh.
opening
Yep.
presents.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Present.
Mhm.
There's a lot of presents too.
There are. They did pretty good that year.
Yeah.
Randy gets a Zeppelin.
Yep. And when he comes down there, he's just grabbing stuff like, "Oh, this is mine, and this is mine." Not even
Yeah.
checking tags, just grabbing things. "Ooh, this is heavy. This is mine," which ends up being a bowling ball for dad.
Yeah. And you get a little adult joke there.
Yeah. But it's Christmas time. They're opening presents, and
Ralphie gets to play Santa that year.
yep, handing out the presents.
Yep. And
Um,
then they're all opening it, which you get this is fun
it is
because
fun.
you get them actually opening presents, whereas most of your cinema present opening is not done with actual paper. It's literally you open the top of the box
Oh yeah, yeah. They're
to
just
keep
ripping it open and
noise down, so you don't have that. But this really brings
keep
you
noise
into
down,
the
save on takes.
hmm But
It's
this
like, "Oh,
really,
that didn't go well. Wrap the present again." Like, put the lid back on the box, kid. Okay.
yeah. But this one, they went ahead and did it.
Yep. And then we get one of the um iconic gifts.
Well, not yet. If did you notice that? Because it goes to a little bit later after all presents, and mom and dad are having wine on the couch talking to Ralphie, and Randy is asleep next to a horrifying Frankenstein mask.
Okay.
Did you notice the Frankenstein mask?
I did not notice the
It's
Frankenstein mask.
scary. It's the first time I've ever noticed it, and I go, "Whoa! How are you sleeping next to that thing, kid?" And then yeah, and then dad offers Ralphie a sip of his wine, and mom's like,
Yeah.
"No." And he asked if Ralphie got everything he wanted, and he said almost. And Dad goes, "Yeah, that's life. Oh, there's always
Oh,
next year." What?
no, I meant the rabbit suit.
Rabbit suit. He gets a rabbit suit first.
So yes.
The bunny suit.
Yes, that's the iconic present I was talking about because it's on the cover of the movie.
Uh, I thought you were talking about
No. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I missed something." Like, "No, the bunny suit comes up." It's
the
from
bunny
his,
suits before the wine.
no, yeah, no, because while they're opening presents, he gets the present from his aunt Clara?
Sure. Didn't write it down.
He gets a present from his
Did
aunt.
you write it down? Oh, that's right.
I'm not gonna live this down, am I?
No. A year. A whole year.
Yeah.
A whole year of not taking a single note on my episodes.
Did I need to?
No. Apparently not.
So so yes, he gets the present from his aunt. It's a bunny suit, which he's horrified about, and his mom tells him to go put it on.
Yeah.
And he comes down the stairs to show it off. It's got sappy little bunny feet with eyes and everything. It's a pink bunny suit. And the dad says he looks like a deranged Easter bunny as he comes down the stairs, which was an
Yeah.
ad lib line.
Was it?
Yes. Fun fact.
Awesome. Thank you. Spoilers.
He looked like a deranged Easter bunny. So then there's the wine, and then there's the dad asking
If you got everything.
if he got everything he wanted.
And the dad, of course, got the BB gun and tells him, "Hey, what's that behind the desk?" Ralphie goes and
Right.
gets it, opens it up. It's the BB gun, and you get probably the most touching moment in the whole movie of the dad's excitement seeing his son open up the gift that he knew he wanted and
Yeah.
that he bought for him without his wife knowing.
Yep. Yep. He's excited. He's like, I had one at his age. It's fine.
Yeah. And then Ralph immediately takes it outside and shoots his eye out.
I was gonna say the dad helps him load it, but yeah, he goes outside and shoots his eye out.
The dad doesn't help him load it. The dad's watching. Do you know how to do it? And Ralphie is a pro at this thing.
But then not, I mean, not help him, but he's there. He's like, okay, good, careful.
Yeah. And he's watching him and he's just like, yes, this kid. Yes. Yeah, he's
He's
excited.
got it. He's excited for him.
Yeah. And then Ralphie goes out and shoots his eye out.
Yeah.
He
Well,
puts a target on. What? They have a metal sign in their backyard.
yeah, for target practice.
Stupid. Ricochet.
It did.
That's what happened. Should have shot against the wood fence like we used to.
Yeah, exactly. It goes right into there. You can dig them out and use them again.
We never did that, did we?
I did a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it bounces back, knocks his glasses off.
Yep. And then he breaks his glasses, and then he works up some tears, runs inside crying. Tells his mom an icicle fell off the garage and hit him in the face. She's worried that and glad that he didn't cut his eye because icicles have been known to kill people.
Yep.
He has to wear his spare glasses.
Yep, spare glasses, and his dad's like, "Everything good?" As they go running through, and then he looks at the turkey. He's like, "I'm taking a piece of that."
Yes, and we did gloss over the fact that the old man was a known turkey addict,
Pollock,
turkey holic,
turkey fiend.
turkey junkie. That's what he is.
Did
Yeah.
you write that down?
No, I didn't write anything about the turkey down. Don't know why.
Uh,
I remember it. So, yeah. So yeah. So the turkey's out because mom needs to baste it. That's what she was doing when the
yes.
emergency happened. The old man goes in to sneak some, and she's like, it has another hour to cook. You'll get worms. He doesn't seem too concerned about it.
Nope.
So he cuts a piece off the back that looks cooked and eats it.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there reading his paper, and the Bupkis dogs come in
Yes, they come in the door.
and eat the turkey.
Yeah, they attack the turkey. They flip the table. They drag it out. It is
Destroy
not a.
all
Yeah,
of Christmas dinner is destroyed.
yes, it is. It is not a good time.
No. So dad
He's
decides,
he's holding a wing and is looking down at the carnage.
right. And so dad says, get dressed. We're going out. And so they go to a Chinese restaurant where they are introduced to quote unquote Chinese turkey,
Yes.
which is duck. And the nice people at the Chinese food restaurant are singing Christmas carols for the family
Yes.
in a scene that doesn't age particularly well.
I agree.
So we'll gloss over that. And they bring out the duck,
Yep. I have a
and
fun fact here if you don't.
I don't.
So, the mom was the only one that didn't know the duck was going to have a head when it came out. They gave her a different script.
That's funny.
So that was her reaction to the duck coming out and the duck's head getting chopped off.
Yes, we have a great hysterical scene of where they're all kind of weirded out about the duck having a head still. And
Yes.
the waiter's like, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Well, it's smiling at me." And he goes, "Oh!" And he pulls out this big cleaver, and in one fell swoop, just hacks the head off and takes it.
Yes, and she
And
didn't know that was going to happen, and she
they all
rolls with
clap
it.
for him.
But it's just yeah, they all clap. It's smiling at me.
Yeah, it is great. And yeah, so they all have Chinese food for Christmas dinner, and
Yep.
we end our movie with Ralphie going to sleep on Christmas.
Yep.
And
Snowing.
it's snowing,
Nice.
and yeah, the parents are sitting downstairs, looking out the window, watching the snow.
Yep. Good wholesome movie.
Very good, wholesome movie, and that is that.
Do we do final thoughts on special features? I
We
know we kind
do.
of okay.
It's going to
Do
be a
you,
bit redundant because that's how we started the movie.
it is how
That's how we figured out how to get into talking about the movie. Because we're like, well, because we're stupid and we're
I
trying a
think
new
we've
format. It's not working.
I think we've learned a few things this episode.
We did, and
I learned
yeah,
something today.
I learned my brother doesn't take notes when I'm leading the episode.
Merry Christmas. Redundant thoughts. Yes, I like this movie. I will watch it every Christmas. It's got it's just cute. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a timeless classic. I think part of what makes it that is the fact that it's very obviously set in 1940. And so no matter what year it is, you can get transported back to 1940 and watch it. And it's not one that tries to be relevant every year. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. It's a period piece. It's a wholesome Christmas story that you're gonna be able to sit down and watch and enjoy at any any point in
Yeah.
time.
It tells its little story and it's good. It's fun.
So
I
yeah,
don't think I have anything else.
I don't have anything else, and we're not watching. We're not. You're not surprising me with what to watch next.
Nope. No, we're
So
not.
so we want to thank you for joining us today. If you listen to this on Christmas, thanks. If you're
Yeah,
listening to
thank
it
you.
after Christmas, we understand.
That's fair.
But we hope you enjoyed it. We do apologize if the flow wasn't great. We are, like we said in the beginning or at the end of season one, we are going to be trying some new things out and seeing what happens. So this was an attempt at that, but we do appreciate you coming along and fumbling through a Christmas story with us. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can do so. watchitbropodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter at watchitbropod. Facebook and Instagram, we have the same handle. Our intro and outro music is provided by Nihilor. That intro being A Fog Too Thick, that outro being replaced. Merry Christmas to all, and do all a good night.